All right, everyone. First Alert Meteorologist Justin Bradford here, taking a peek at our First Alert forecast across the area for today. We got a pretty quiet week ahead, certainly compared to where we've been lately, but with milder temperatures too, and so that to look forward to. We've even got several days the opportunity to get to 40 degrees in this First Alert look, so we're going to take a look at that across mid-Michigan today. First, want to check out our live Skycam network. Seeing most places with cloudy skies this afternoon across a good portion of mid-Michigan, but we do have a few breaks in the clouds, especially towards Mason, so from time to time you might notice some sunlight peeking on through. Otherwise, it's a mostly cloudy to overcast kind of day here in our state. We're taking a look around mid-Michigan right now with those current conditions. There's a little bit of back and forth between the sun and clouds. Temperatures generally mid to upper 20s, but Marshall's at 30 degrees, and we're near the freezing mark in Hastings, and so getting back at least closer to normal. Even if we don't quite get to those numbers today, I think we'll be more than into it tomorrow and back above average for the first time in a pretty long time. So you can see across most of the area, we've got the cool temperatures still lingering, but it is a little warmer than it has been lately. And look at the warmth building out west. You see Des Moines, Iowa's into the 60s. We might not get that warm in this forecast, but numbers like you see out in Minneapolis and Fargo are going to be a lot more common around here over the next several days. So we have that to look forward to. Want to take a peek at weather headlines. Lots of clouds in the area this week, but it is generally dry as we head throughout our Friday. And then temperatures milder than they have been lately. Those are going to be our main First Alert forecast elements that we focused on and bring you that First Alert here today. So over the next 12 hours, we're actually going to see temperatures top out upper 20s, a few lucky spots near 30 today. But then what ends up happening is we cool off into the mid 20s during the evening. Now that'll happen before midnight, after which point we'll actually see the temperatures climb, headed back into our overnight period. I think by most of the time we get to about 3, 4 in the morning, we'll be back near 30 degrees, and it'll be lower 30s to start the day tomorrow. That'll have us off and running. So your satellite and radar doesn't show you much other than the clouds now. And in fact, I think that we're going to be kind of caught underneath those with systems to our north over the next few days. So northern lower up towards the Straits of Mackinac, you can see some snow moving through. Another system that develops out west in Minnesota that moves over the northern lower peninsula and the UP might bring some more precipitation to those areas overnight and then maybe again tomorrow night. But I think we're going to be underneath it, literally just off to the south here of most of the systems that'll come through the next few days. And so that'll keep us into the slightly warmer temperatures as well on the south side of the storm track. And so the hour by hour First Alert forecast here is going to feature that. There are those temperatures creeping towards the upper 20s today. Again, a few folks like we've seen out there getting to 30. That changes heading into the overnight as we start cooling down towards the mid-20s by sunset and then warm back up towards our Tuesday morning. Now, I think the temperatures tomorrow a little warmer than the models show here. They've got mid to upper 30s. I think a few places, even with some peaks of sun, might get lucky enough to hit 40 degrees, and then we'll be a little cooler heading towards the rest of the week. Highs by the time we get to Wednesday and Thursday back in the low 30s, and we may creep back towards the middle 30s on Friday. But you notice in this hour by hour forecast, everything just really staying off to our north, and so not much of an impact on us. Maybe a couple of flakes come through on Wednesday at times, but even then, it's not looking like we have any impactful weather through most of this forecast period. So the high temperature trend keeps us near 40 for the high Tuesday. Again, back around 30 on Wednesday, kind of similar to today, and then we'll start warming things slowly back up. Saturday is Valentine's Day. We might have an outside shot at getting back to 40 once again, and a few more opportunities like that heading into next week. You'll see in the 10-day extended forecast we've got for you here. The next really measurable or impactful chance for precipitation, that looks like it settles in Saturday night and really out into Sunday. That could be a wintry mix. It could be a little more rain, could be a little more snow. Fact of the matter is it's about 6 days out from now, so we're going to keep eyes on that throughout the week, see how that track sort of takes it. And we could have some impacts towards the back half of the weekend as a result of that. So if you got those evening plans for Valentine's Day or your typical Saturday night, however you fancy, you might want to keep an eye on the forecast as we head towards then. Otherwise, again, mild air heading into next week as we're back in the lower to maybe even middle 40s at times. And we're going to have to keep an eye on that forecast too, because there are some weather models that are out there suggesting even warmer temperatures than that. So it could kind of go either way. Of course, we're going to have updates continuing on that as we head throughout these next several days in your First Alert forecast. So be sure to check back with us. You can get any of our streaming platforms and options, have the forecast available for you there. It's also for free on the First Alert Weather app, both in Google Play and the Apple App Store. And you can always catch us on the air, of course, as well. And we'll see you next coming up on News 10 at 5 o'clock. In our 90 minutes of news, First Alert meteorologist Andy Provenzano will have that update. So thanks for joining us today, and we'll have more coming up. Take care.